As if trying to make an Olympic team wasn't difficult enough, training centers across the country are being closed because of coronavirus.
This morning, two-time Olympic gymnast Sam Mikulak posted a letter from the United States Olympic Committee informing athletes the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs, where he trains, is being temporarily shut down.
Runner Donovan Brazier finds himself in a similar predicament. He talked about those challenges with Jack Doles.
Donovan Brazier, the reigning world champion in the 800 meters. He's a medal favorite for Tokyo, joins us from Oregon now. So far, the IOC, Donovan, says it's all systems go. The USOC said it would proceed as if the games would take place as scheduled, but they just shut down the facilities for the athletes. Nike's done the same thing for you in Oregon. How can U.S. athletes possibly be ready if they can't train?
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair question, but I feel like you kind of have to say that. You kind of have to go as if everything's going to go as normal. You know, this is our lives, and I think as athletes we're really used to having to adjust or having to, you know, go through difficult times to try to learn different ways of training and such sorts. But I don't think this will have too much of an effect, depending on how long it lasts. That's the biggest question that I think a lot of athletes have. But for me personally, they shut down all of Nike campus, which is where I train. And when it comes to like the weight room and like the sports massage therapists and stuff like that, like all of that is not accessible up to this point. So, I mean, a lot of things aren't really going, you know, the way that you want them to leading up into Olympic year, but I think I would like to hope that things will work out.
Yeah, Donovan, how much of an emotional toll does this take on you?
I think mentally, I think you just kind of got to keep on acting like everything's normal, you know, for what you can. I mean, I go out to practice, and my coach out in Oregon now is actually not allowing us to practice with each other. We're kind of just doing our own thing up at this point. But it's just kind of like train as usual is I think the best way to go about it.
You train to peak at just the right time. How difficult is it when you don't know what that time is going to be? I mean, right now it's in June, the Olympic trials are set for, but, you know, who knows at this point?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, no one knows, and there's a lot more questions than answers at this point. Like, they're not really telling us much, and I know it's not just about the athletes, about the spectators for Tokyo and such, and I know, you know, money is a big question in this whole thing as well, too, but, you know, I think at the end of the day, they're going to make the right decision on athletes' health and spectators' health, but I'd like to think that 4 months from now, this will hopefully be all in the past, and we'll just be looking at it as like a little, you know, bump in the road and just kind of look past it, hopefully.
But realistically, do you foresee an Olympics actually happening at this point, the way things continue to trend?
I think if the way things continue to trend, I don't think they will, but I'd like to be optimistic at this point, and I'd like to, I mean, it helps with my daily life, you know, I still have a job to do, and I still have work to do, and I still have the ability to do it, but just not the accessibility to use the equipment that I might usually use. But I would like to go about my day thinking that everything's going to be normal. Whether it is or not, you know, that's out of my control, and I think that's how most of the athletes are feeling about it.
Donovan, the Olympics only come around every 4 years. How devastating would it be if it doesn't happen right now, especially when you're peaking at just the right time, it appears, I mean, the way your year has gone?
Yeah, that's definitely a rough one, because a lot of these earlier meets, like the Diamond Leagues for overseas and stuff like that, they would have been good competitions for me to run in, going off of my last year world title. I was the #1 reigning guy for the 800 meter. So I think I kind of had a big target on my back, and I had a title to try to reclaim or to try to defend, and to not get the opportunity to do that would be devastating.